Welcome, everyone, to the Appleton Area School District candidate interview with Deb Truyman. We want to thank candidate Truyman for being with us today and answering some questions from the community around the school board. We'll start off with some procedures for this program. Remind everyone that League of Women Voters is nonpartisan and does not support or oppose any candidate or party. We do time the responses, and the timer is on the top of the PowerPoint screen, and you can see it scrolling as the time ebbs away. We got questions from League members and the public, and we've clustered those questions around specific topics, and so I might have changed the wording a little bit so that we get at the essence of the question. We also have questions from Appleton West, East, North, and Central students. These have been recorded and are used in this interview. I want to remind everyone that there are 5 candidates, and you are to vote for 3 of those candidates on your ballot for 3-year terms. So without further ado, start by asking Deb to please introduce yourself, explain your connection to the Appleton Area School District, and why you are running for school board.
Thank you, first of all, for having me, and thank you, League of Women Voters, for preparing this opportunity for candidates to share their views. Introduce myself. Okay, my name is Deb Truyman. I'm currently on the Board of Education. My husband Rick and I have been living in Appleton for about 30 years. We've raised 4 children in Appleton, and currently 5 of our grandchildren are in Appleton Public Schools. I am running for the board because I feel that the work I've done over the past 4 years has been valuable, and I'm ready to continue it. I have the knowledge, the background, and the passion for working towards providing all of our students with an excellent education. I've worked with the board in developing our new governance procedure in which the board sets policies and holds the administration accountable. But we've also established a community connection committee, which gives us an opportunity to interact on a more small personal basis with staff members, community members, students. And I'm feeling that this is just an important opportunity for us to get to know the issues that are currently on the minds of our constituents. Other than that, I work cooperatively with other board members and feel that I'm an important piece of this process, and I would, with your support, I would continue on for another 3 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Our first student question comes from Aaliyah Mans. She's a senior at Appleton Central High School.
Hi, my name is Aaliyah Mans. I'm a senior at Appleton Central High School, and the question I have for you today is, as an Appleton Area School District board member, what can you do for students to ensure that they feel wanted, welcomed, and are comfortable at school so they are prepared to learn?
Thank you, Aaliyah, for that question. This is very important. I know that the district has been working hard to make students feel wanted, welcome, and accepted. As a board member, what I can do is ensure that we have policies to continue that process, as well as make sure that the results we receive when we review the processes are a way of holding administration accountable for the results that we get. I know that there has been work done with the dress code policy to ensure that students feel more wanted, welcome. I know that there has been diversity promoters within the school to help. And personally, on a personal basis, I like to attend the various functions that are held, such as the all-day program at Appleton East for Black History Month, and some of the other activities, just to let staff and students know that I, as a board member, am there to help them feel wanted, welcome, and comfortable. So just continuing that momentum, finding dollars in the budget to support it as much as we can would be something that I could do.
Thank you. The next question is from Maya Coffey. She's a senior and editor-in-chief for the Appleton North High School's student newspaper, and it kind of relates to the first question.
Hello, my name is Maya Kofi, and I'm a senior at Appleton North High School. According to the National Institute of Health and the National Library of Medicine, 82% of transgender youth have seriously considered taking their own lives. What steps do you believe the Appleton Area School District should take to protect the well-being of this vulnerable demographic of students? Thank you.
Thanks, Maya, for your question. I have also read some of those articles and feel that this is a serious problem. I think it may have been a little bit exacerbated by people being home when we had the COVID shutdown, but I think we need to make sure that we have the resources available both within the district and within the community to provide these students, youth, with the counseling, whatever they need, the counseling, the help, the support to help them so that they realize that ending their life is not the only solution. Hiring more counselors, hiring more psychologists, agencies to help maybe provide clothing, some kind of other support would be all things that the Appleton Area School District could do to protect the well-being of this vulnerable group of students.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Delaney Lehman, senior at Appleton East High School and editor of the student newspaper.
Hi, my name is Delaney Lehman, and I'm an editor for The Courier, Appleton East student newspaper. Here's my question. With more and more threats of gun violence and etc., what would your plan be to resolve or prevent further threats from occurring? What plans would you do to make students feel more safe in the Appleton Area School District? Thank you.
Thank you, Delaney, for that. I can't imagine being in a school where I would have to feel threatened by gun violence or any other kind of violence. It's a different world. Students these days have got a lot more, not only to be concerned about, but I think they've got a lot more courage and are learning to work through some of these threats that are in there. To resolve these further threats, I think it was a big step for the district to install the safety measures that they have in the front doors of each school. I think the SROs are important in being able to check out instances that might be happening. I think just continued vigilance by staff and students and the SROs, administrators, and more discussion on how we can not only check this out, but work with the students that may feel not only more threatened, but also those students who might be considering bringing guns to school. So to recap, just keep what we have and work more to get more programs in place.
Thank you. Question 5. Many experts believe that effective teachers have the highest influence on student achievement. What approach do you propose for the Appleton Area School District to attract and retain qualified, effective teachers?
Thank you. That is a very, very important question right now. As I just read, I think there are 41 teacher retirements at the end of this school year. I think that attracting and retaining quality teachers comes down to providing robust support for new staff and veteran staff that are new to the district, by showing appreciation to employees and providing opportunities for staff to openly share their concerns and questions. Staff members need to be involved in the decision-making process with regards to professional development. And a big one, compensation and benefits need to be consistently reviewed so that staff salaries and benefits are in line with the surrounding districts. I have to put a plug in at this time for our community linkages committee that we have going, because we have talked with several staff members over the past several months, and we'll probably have a meeting designed for staff just to talk with board members. I think it's important that they feel listened to, because they are the boots on the ground. Keep the salary competitive, give them input in professional development, and just provide ways to let them know that they're appreciated.
Thank you. What are the leadership responsibilities of school board members in collaboration and building consensus with administration, parents, teachers, and community? How will you facilitate all voices being heard?
Okay, leadership responsibilities, consensus among administration. I think it's important that we come across as people that are willing to listen, share our ideas, be accepting, provide opportunity for people to share their thoughts with us. And one of the ways that we facilitate these voices is through our community linkages committee. If we provide forums, if there's some type of concern among the community members, or a process that they would like more information about. But overall, being able to speak our voice freely, knowing that we're listened to, knowing that once we hear everyone's ideas, that we'll probably come up with something in the middle, because it's usually finding the things in common will usually lead us to the best solution to any situation we have.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Esther Anderle. She's a junior at Appleton West High School and Renaissance School for the Arts. She's editor-in-chief of the student newspaper Talisman.
Hello, my name is Esther Anderle. I'm a student at Renaissance at Appleton West, as well as the editor-in-chief of the school newspaper at West, the Talisman. My question is, what are your opinions on the current book bans and censorship occurring in other places in...
Thank you, Esther, for that question. Current book bans and censorship occurring in other places in our country. I just really think that backgrounds. Having a variety of books to choose from has been compared to having a mirror into which students can look and see themselves, but also books that will provide students with a window to looking out towards others. And that way we can really get to know each other's cultures, habits, and each other a little bit better. I do feel it's important for parents to know the resources that are available to their students. However, they may, their concern for their student doesn't necessarily need to extend to all the other students in the school. So while parents have a right to decide what their own children read, parents do not have a right to decide what other children read in school. That's it. Thank you.
What are your thoughts on the curriculum development process and assuring that curricula are culturally responsive and inclusive?
Okay, I believe that a culturally responsive curriculum is necessary in order to inspire students to be lifelong learners. The world is vastly changing, and we need to create an environment where students are active and interactive learners who develop critical and creative thinking skills and problem-solving skills. This means representing various sides of a situation factually in an unbiased manner and having students share their thoughts without criticism. We must convey to each student that you are important, your culture is important, your thoughts are important, and just develop a respect for each other. Knowing that stories have been told in different ways over the years, and we need to really truly take a look at what all the stories are.
Thank you. Standards-based grading and learning intentions have been implemented in Appleton's education system. Do you believe that these practices are accomplishing their goals, and how have you seen them affecting students and teachers?
Okay, the standard-based grading. I think it's important to know what standards need to be taught. I do think that we need to rein in a little bit the amount of time students have in the past gotten to learn something. I know from conversations I've had that sometimes students won't turn in their best work until they know it's their absolutely last chance to put it in. While the practices are accomplishing the goals of knowing which standards students have, I don't know that they're transferring over to the next levels of education as effectively as other grading practices have. I think students are possibly not learning as much as they could be learning, and I do know that it's taken a toll on teachers in the extent that the report cards are definitely much more. They're different to work with. They're not. Yeah, they may be a little bit more cumbersome than what we have had in the past. The intent is good. I think we just need to work through it a little bit more to get a better result.
Okay, thank you. There are programs like Help Me Grow, Birth to 3, Home Visitation, Head Start that all support families with resources and developmental screening for early identification and intervention when needed. How should the school district work with these local programs? What early childhood investments do you believe the school district should make to impact school readiness?
Okay, I know we are very fortunate in this valley to have many of the early learning programs. And the early screening is important for identification, the intervention. How do you believe a school district must work with these programs? I think it's important that we work hand in hand with these programs so that the children don't get lost in the shuffle or fall between the cracks, so that when they are ready to come to kindergarten, they are ready for the curriculum that's in place in either the 4K or the 5K. With regards to early childhood investments, I think anything that just has the students being able to talk and listen and repeat sounds rather than staring at a screen is going to help them in the long run. The interacting with others is very important. And like I said, just anything interactive, the talking, the playing, the listening, the moving, the physical skills are all important investments that we have to make so the students are ready.
Thank you. What do you think are the strengths and weaknesses of the Appleton Area School District, and how would you help to improve our weaknesses?
Well, I think that we have a lot of strengths within this district. There are a variety of schools, the charter schools, which lend themselves to many different areas of after high school career and college. We also have many extracurricular activities in which students can participate. Strengths are the dedicated staff and a strong community support for the district. Weaknesses include some of the declining academic scores and increasing social and emotional concerns among students as well as staff. And as a board member, I would continue to work with administration by establishing the policies and the accountability to make sure that the standards the boards have set are being achieved. I will continue to seek input from the community so as to see whether we are making headway on any of these concerns, and just continue to develop the programs that we have in process for our students. I think one key step in the right direction is the taking a look at the reading program, as well as the lowered class sizes coming up.
Thank you. Why should voters choose you for the Appleton Area School District Board?
I think voters should choose me for the board, as I mentioned before, because of my knowledge, having been on the board for 4 years. I have an idea of how the coherent governance system works. I have the passion definitely for doing this. I as a former educator, it's just, I feel that it's something that's just in my blood. It's a part of who I am, helping students achieve their goals through being on the board, the setting the policies, the checking for accountability. I've got the time to do this. I'm retired, and I do spend quite a bit of time doing research and different various meetings, committee meetings. I have that's available to me. It is a passion of mine, and I would just hope that the voters would see that I've done some good work over these past 4 years and decide to keep me, re-elect me for another 3.
Thank you.
Can I add one more thing? Oh.
Thank you. I want to give a thank you to Deb Truyman for running for the school board and taking the time to share your responses with AASD voters. I also want to thank you to the students and the school newspaper staff advisors for their contribution and assistance with questions. And then just a few reminders that the election is Tuesday, April 4th. You know what April 4th is? It's spring break for the Appleton Area School District. So I just want to encourage everybody to make sure that you are planning ahead. So if you're going to be going someplace on a well-deserved break, then make sure you've done early voting or you've gotten your absentee ballot in. So go to myvote.wi.gov, make sure you're registered, get that absentee ballot, see what's on your ballot. There are other important things on that ballot, such as the state Supreme Court race. And these are just some nonpartisan voter information sources so that you can read up about it and decide who you want to vote for. And vote411.org is also nonpartisan. So with that, I want to thank you again, Deb.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for joining us.